JPEGMAFIA, Veteran. Certain songs on this album are oppressively sad. I do not recommend this to anyone who's having depressive thoughts or feeling unwell, I think. Compared to JPEGMAFIA's other albums, this one doesn't hold up as much. This was one of the first ever JPEGMAFIA albums I ever heard, and it was a solid introduction. It shows off a skill set with a mixture of straightforward tracks and more experimental ones that are among some of JPEGMAFIA's best. Still, compared to JPEGMAFIA's other albums, I think this one is kind of lacking. The opening stretch from the opening track to Baby I'm Bleeding are all bops. However, tracks 6 through 10 are much more abstract, much less polished, much more experimental, and honestly, I can't really get into them. Like, I have been revisiting this album for upwards of a year now, and that's an entire leg of the album I usually just feel like skipping. There's still weird moments after Panic Emoji like Whole Foods, but honestly I think it gets back on track. Other than that, my problems aren't really with the album itself, more in where it stands in the rest of JPEGMAFIA's discography. If I want a diverse listening experience that covers most of JPEGMAFIA's bases, I go to LP. If I want a consistent album where every track sounds like it's where it's meant to be on the album, I go to All My Heroes Are Cornballs. If I want a really abrasive album that's really experimental, I go to Black Ben Carson. In terms of JPEGMAFIA's skill set, I think this album is a jack of all trades and a master of none. And for that, I think it's decent.